welcome to this Wellspring Cancer Support session. It's part of the Nourish program on managing eating-related side effects. And today's program is on changes in taste that may happen when you are going through cancer treatment. My name is Kara Rosenblum, and I'm one of the Wellspring dietitians, and I will be taking you through today's presentation. Before we start, I want to give you a bit of information about where we gather our facts from here at Wellspring. All of our information is evidence-based. That means that it comes from clinical studies and evidence from science, and we turn to organizations like the Canadian Cancer Society, the World Cancer Research Fund, the American Institute for Cancer Research, and the National Cancer Institute to look at their studies in order to populate the information that we share. So rest assured, everything you're going to hear today is evidence-based, based on the best available science from researchers and oncologists and dietitians who are doing the work. So you may find that when you are going through cancer therapy, that food tastes different than you remember. And this is a very common occurrence, and it may happen because of a medication you could be on for chemotherapy or immunotherapy. It may be due to radiation, especially if the radiation is in your head or neck region. Sometimes you'll find if you've had mouth or tongue surgery, it can change the way things taste. And sometimes it can be due to a nutrient deficiency. So nutrients are things like vitamins and minerals in our diet, and not having the right level can make taste changes occur as well. And normally our taste buds on our tongue will detect sweet flavors and salty flavors and sour and bitter flavors. And there's a fifth taste called umami, or savory flavors. But sometimes we find when we are on certain medications or in chemotherapy, those taste buds can be altered in the short term, and that may account for some of the changes that you are finding. A lot of people ask how long it will last, and there's not one answer for this, but it is usually the case that taste buds return to normal a few weeks or sometimes a few months after treatment finishes, especially if your taste buds have changed due to a medication or due to chemo. When the medication stops or the chemotherapy stops, then you will find that your taste buds will go back to normal within a few weeks or a few months. If you've had radiation on your tongue region, your neck region, your face region, you may find that taste buds will come back a little bit more slowly. It may take a little bit longer. And some people who've had mouth surgery, especially if you've had cancer of the tongue, may find that their sense of taste on their taste buds are permanently changed. So that will be very different if you've specifically had cancer of the tongue. Why does this matter? Why do we think about taste? Why do we research taste? Why do dietitians talk about it? Well, the biggest reason is that if foods don't taste good to you, it may reduce your appetite, and that would mean you would eat less, and that can affect your weight and your energy levels, and sometimes even your mood, because food is the body's source of fuel. It's the energy that we use to keep going. And if we don't have food or the right food because some things taste funny, we're not going to have as much energy. That could affect our physical health. It could affect our mental health and our mood. So it really is all wrapped up in making sure that the body is well nourished, even when things taste different. And today I'm going to provide you some tips to let you know if you're having certain taste changes, what can you do to make it a little bit easier? The first thing you can do always is let your healthcare team know if taste changes are a problem for you, because they may have recommendations that are specific to you that could be very helpful. The first taste change that we often hear about is the taste receptors that taste bitter. For some reason, those get more prominent, and bitter flavors may come through. And taste changes for salty are also usually more noticeable than taste changes for sweet. So sort of those bitter flavors or those salty flavors may change. If you are eating foods that are normally sweet or normally neutral and you're finding they taste bitter, some of the things you could do to neutralize that bitter flavor are to really wake up your other taste buds, like your sweetness taste buds. So adding things to food that make them taste sweet. So you could add fruit to meals. You could add a little bit of maple syrup or sugar or honey, not tablespoonfuls, but just a little drizzle, because sometimes perking up your sweet taste buds can mask the bitterness, which could be very helpful. Other things that the evidence shows to be helpful are having drinks that have a strong flavor, so such as mint tea or ginger tea or even ginger ale. Those are also a little bit sweet and a little bit savory, and they can help mask the bitter flavor as well. Some people don't find food taste too bitter, but they find that food tastes too sweet. So what can you do in that case? Again, it's the idea of switching over the taste buds to really perk up other taste buds other than sweet. So in this case, you can do it by savory. So something like mint or ginger tea. It's sort of a neutralness, and I would not add sugar to the tea. You just want to have it plain. And those can actually make your taste buds less sensitive to sweet flavors. If you find that sweet drinks are especially irritating, you can skip them altogether or dilute them by adding water or a lot of ice, and then they won't be as sweet. If you're finding fruit taste too sweet, you can easily interchange fruits and vegetables. So if you take a few weeks off of eating fruit, it's okay. Their same vitamins and minerals are found in vegetables, so you can easily have vegetables. And you might want to not pick the sweetest vegetables. So sweet potatoes, carrots, and beets are known to be the sweetest vegetables. So maybe have more something like greens, which are a little bit more on the bitter side, things like kale and spinach and arugula and those kind of greens, or just neutral vegetables like cucumber, zucchini, or eggplant, or things like that that aren't known to have a sweet undertone. The other thing you could do if foods are tasting too sweet is add a squeeze of lemon. Lemon is known to be sour, or a little bit of salt, because that brings out salty taste buds. So anytime you're tasting one flavor too strong, think about how you can mask it with another flavor. So if it's sweet, you want to add lemon or salt for bitter or salty. So you want to always think about how can I inspire other taste buds to come alive. Some people find that it's not a particular taste that bothers them, but they find that overall food becomes more bland. They've lost their taste buds have just become less sensitive to flavor. So what you can do in this case is add your favorite herbs or spices to make your foods taste better. So a bland food often comes to life with a little basil or oregano or cinnamon or thyme or allspice or cilantro or any of these flavors that are the favorites in your type of culinary cuisine and the cooking you like to do. Onion and garlic are also known to have strong flavors, so that can actually bring out the flavor of the foods you're eating. Strong sauces are another idea, adding a teaspoon or a tablespoon of your favorite sauces, anything from tomato sauce to salty soy sauces or salsa, curry powders or curry sauces, harissa, jerk, any of the flavors that make your food come to life that you enjoy, they can be really helpful. You can also join the Nourish class called Adding Flavor to Foods. And in that class, we go over all these different ways to really make food come to life with lots of flavor. Some people find that due to medications, food has a metallic taste. So if you find there's like a metal flavor in your foods, a couple of tips that may help are temporarily switching to plastic or bamboo forks and spoons instead of using metal ones. People do find that a metal fork, when they're tasting things taste metallic, can actually exacerbate it or make it worse. So you might just want to use an environmentally friendly plastic or bamboo fork, hopefully one that's not disposable, so we're not contributing to environmental waste, but something for the short term until you can get back to enjoying using metal utensils again without having that flavor. The other thing you could do is if you usually use metal cookware like a cast iron skillet, that can also contribute to the metallic taste. So try using cookware, bakeware that are glass or ceramic or something that doesn't have a metallic flavor. And again, you can also downplay that metallic flavor by adding tart or sweet or salty flavors, such as are listed here, things like lemon or lime, vinegars, pickled foods, sweet flavors from dried fruit, honey, sugar, or maple syrup. Some people specifically find that meat tastes different. It may be a metallic taste, or it may just have an off taste. By all means, if you want to not have meat, that's totally fine. You can skip meat in favor of high protein foods such as fish, poultry, so chicken, turkey, or plant-based things like tofu, beans, eggs and dairy are also a source of protein. So meat's not necessary if you're finding that it has an off flavor. If you love your meat and you want to find a way to still include it in your eating plan, you can use different marinades that are going to change the flavor of the meat. So again, sticking with things that are sweet, like fruit juices or sweet and sour sauce, or going with something savory that maybe has garlic and onions, like a salad dressing, or vinegar, like a salad dressing, or lemon, like a salad dressing, or salty. So things like barbecue sauce, soy sauce that have some salt, maybe some sugar, all different things you can do. You can also use herbs in a like a sauce or a marinade, like a chimichurri, and those are going to allow different flavors to come through. So instead of focusing on the very meaty flavor, you're focusing on the fruit juice or the citrus or the herbs or the salt, and it'll make it taste better. A couple other things that you can do, regardless of which kind of flavor you're experiencing, is to rinse your mouth before and after eating by using either sparkling water or salt water, and that can help clear your taste buds and maybe make food a little bit more enjoyable. You can also keep your mouth clean. You can ask your doctor or your dentist if they maybe have a mouthwash they recommend, something very gentle with no alcohol if you have mouth sores, that can help. There's also some research on what temperature foods are at. If foods are served cold or room temperature, they often tend to have less strong flavors than when foods are served warm. So some people find that eating foods at room temperature or cold foods like salads will help them reduce the sense of strong flavors and the sense of strong smells. And if you find that you have a bad taste in your mouth after eating, you can try chewing gum or using lemon candy or mint or ginger candy, which will change taste buds as well. What goes hand in hand with taste is also our sense of smell. And some treatments may also cause changes to your sense of smell, which can also affect how food tastes because the olfactory system is all connected. So taste and smell are connected. If you find that you don't like the smell of certain foods and strong scents are bothering you and making you lose your appetite, you can actually reduce the odor of foods by choosing foods that don't require cooking. Cooking, especially cooking in fat like butter or oil, is actually going to make foods smell stronger and taste stronger. So eating foods that don't require cooking, like a salad or a sandwich or something that's, cold, served cold or served room temperature, can actually make the foods not have a strong scent. You can also find in warmer months, you can eat outdoors. So if you do have food with a scent, the scent can dissipate in the air. It's not contained in a smaller kitchen, or you can eat in rooms with open windows. If you're finding that the scent of beverages bothers you, instead of bringing a cup up to your mouth where the beverage is near your nose, you can try using a long straw or having a cup with a lid so the scent stays inside, and then you can taste it, but you don't have to smell it. Those are my tips. I hope that was helpful for you, and feel free to look at the other topics and peruse what is of interest to you. Thank you.